I have heard that Agentic AI will revolutionize the world in 2026.
Agentic AI will prevail, but it's not a revolution and it won't change your life.
If you listen to the experts and the press, that seems to be the case.
Let's listen carefully. Wang is the CEO of NVIDIA and builds the chip design needed for Agentic AI.
Agentic AI basically means that you have an AI that has agency. It can perceive and understand the context of the circumstance. It can reason, very importantly, it can reason about how to answer or how to solve a problem. And it can plan in action. It can plan and take action. It can use tools because it now understands multimodality information. It can go to a website and look at the format of the website, words and videos, maybe even play a video. Learns from what it learns from that website, understands it, and come back and use that information, use that newfound knowledge to do its job.
There you have it. Artificial agents understand problems and can solve them.
Well, what he says is a bit of an exaggeration. He knows that too, but he is trying to sell his product, his computer chips.
And he's successful at that. NVIDIA's stock has exploded this year.
That's not proof. The stock price has exploded because investors have high expectations for NVIDIA's future. Let's first take a look at what Agentic AI really is, what it does and its impact.
Yes, exactly. You'll see that I'm right.
Let's start with the implementation of Agentic AI. Of the companies that tried to use it in 2025, 95% were unsuccessful. They were unable to implement it. Only 5% of them had success. This is confirmed by a study conducted by MIT. Furthermore, the research company Gartner found that 40% of AI projects would be cancelled by the end of 2027 due to escalating costs and enormous risk. The term agent washing has been coined to describe company scams to sell ineffective AI tools. They estimate only about 130 of the 1,000 of Agentic AI vendors are real.
So let's just talk about the 5% of companies that are successful implementing Agentic AI.
First, let me explain what this is all about. Agentic AI is an agent system. The most well-known is MCP, which was developed by Anthropic. It is a framework that enables large language models to share information and coordinate programs. It acts as an interface for executing functions in multiple programs.
How should I understand that?
Okay, here's an example. A wants to make an appointment with B. A writes a command in a chatbot stating that he wants this appointment. You also need to specify how long it should last. Then the AI agent checks the appointment calendar to see when both people are free and enter the appointment into their calendar.
But what if B actually wants to do something else, or wants the appointment on a different date?
Then B would write a command in their chatbot stating that the appointment needs to be rescheduled. A can then check the new appointment.
In any case, the commands are executed completely automatically.
In the past, you would have picked up the phone and called the other person to make an appointment. It's hard to say how much time you save with Agentic AI.
Let's try to look at it positively. At least if you don't like the other person, you don't have to talk to them on the phone.
Alternatively, you could have a word with her before the appointment to make things easier when you get there.
Nowadays, people usually send emails for this purpose. Then there are a few exchanges back and forth.
Then there might be something to be gained from Agentic AI. Another function is that it makes it easier to sort emails. AI is getting better and better at recognizing which folder an email should go into. Of course, mistakes cannot be completely avoided.
That's useful because we all get loads of emails and end up spending ages sorting through them.
Agentic AI has the advantage of reducing the ever-increasing bureaucracy. This increases efficiency, but it's tricky to measure as it mostly is a reduction of the bureaucracy that has grown in recent years.
That's also positive.
Another advantage of Agentic AI is that it's easy to use. Users interact with the system via a large language model interface. Rather than using a programming language, you can enter commands into the system using natural language. This is a more advanced form of prompting. The difference is that these prompts do not return information but execute commands.
They take action.
Let's get back to Wang. When he says that agentic AI can perceive, he means that the command is typed on a keyboard or communicated through a microphone. This type of perception is as old as the computer itself. Even with the first computer, commands were typed in. In this respect, every computer can perceive.
Huang also says that agentic AI understands contexts and knows how to solve problems.
The contexts it understands are the databases of other programs. It can access them and extract their information, but it does not understand any context outside of this information. It does not understand the real world. It does not know how the information is represented in reality or what form it takes. It works more like a search function that searches for a term in a text, except that agentic AI can search not only text but also access databases from different programs.
So it's basically a better search engine.
It also executes commands. Simply by telling it what the task is, it can carry it out. It then requests an estimate, find the cheapest provider, place the order, and pay the bill.
Then I can also use it for travel planning. I just need to tell it when I want to fly to Madrid, and the agent finds the cheapest flight, books it, and all I have to do is get myself to the airport.
And hopefully it will make the right decisions. Sometimes several factors are important, such as price, flight time, airline, and you want to weigh up the different options. For example, you might be willing to pay a little bit more if the flight leaves a little later. To make something like that clear to an agent, the command has to be written in great detail. In that case, it's best to do it yourself.
Ah, so that's what Huang meant when he said that agentic AI could solve problems. It carries out a prompt.
Yes, and to achieve this, it develops a workflow and executes it. It's an algorithm that understands multiple computer languages. The algorithm searches for the subroutines it needs to execute the prompt.
You give it input and get output.
Exactly. Agentic AI can only produce output. It always needs commands and is therefore not fully independent.
And what if something goes wrong? Do I need to try again, or should I just do it myself?
Implementing agentic AI requires careful consideration. A lot of fine-tuning is necessary and it will take a while. That's why most companies are still struggling with it. They have concerns that things could go wrong. One major problem that has not yet been solved is hallucinations. Companies do not tolerate errors in their workflows, and hallucinations are just that. LLM generate outputs that are plausible but factually incorrect. These are not bugs but inherent features of the statistical design. But when an agent hallucinates, the stakes are vastly higher. A hallucinating chatbot gives you a wrong answer. A hallucinating agent might incorrectly modify a customer database, invent parameters, or hallucinate a success message after a system failure.
But what if something goes wrong?
There is a risk that an agentic AI could delete entire company databases. This happened already.
That could be expensive.
That's why it's best to use AI for routine tasks. Routine tasks make up most companies' workload anyway.
If I understand correctly, tasks in the office can be completed much more quickly. In the meantime, I can go and make a coffee and take a break.
Unfortunately, it won't be quite like that, because then you have time to take over the work of your nice colleague who used to sit with you in the office. He will lose his job, so there won't be any time for coffee.
But who should I chat with? Should I talk to my computer?
The programmers have thought of that too. You can give an agentic AI a persona. The user interface is a large language model. You can then choose whether you want a friendly tone, funny comments, or whether you want a severe approach.
Masochists and sadists. Everyone gets their money's worth.
You can also tell a persona whether it should be more creative or more like an expert. You can enter values that it should respect. It's a new user interface that's easy to use. The bureaucracy that's grown in recent years is shrinking again.
I think I understand. With agentic AI, some people lose their jobs, and those who keep their jobs don't have any less work to do. But it does increase productivity, meaning more profit for the companies and their shareholders.
The profits won't be that high. AI requires a large number of data centers with lots of modern chips that consume a massive amount of energy. This ends up costing a lot. It is also unclear how many jobs will be lost. Agentic AI must be implemented and controlled.
So maybe I will get a new colleague who will then make sure that the agentic AI I use works. It's not so bad after all.
It depends who you ask. So far, most companies using agentic AI have not managed to boost productivity.
Now I totally get why Huang is so optimistic. If he can't know exactly how high the profits from agentic AI are, he has to praise it excessively.
He uses vocabulary that is usually reserved for humans rather than machines. He is talking about a machine as if it can actually perceive, understand, and think. In reality, it is just a program that can translate and utilize several other programs and their programming languages. It is not independent, but rather executes commands. But translation can be tricky. It took many years for language translation programs, developed 25 years ago, to become good enough to be used everywhere. Agentic AI will become increasingly prevalent, but it's not going to be a revolution. It will be a long process.
That gives you enough time to write a comment. If you enjoyed the video and don't want to miss the next one, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time!